chat, baby. Great morning, great afternoon, great evening. Hey, love. Hey, love. Hey, love. All right, it's probably last day of this because this ain't no perm. This ain't no relaxer. Don't be putting no heat on my hair every day just for folks that need to see or want to see and only come in because of my hair. No. It is Wisdom Wednesday. Did I say I'm Jessie C. Love, Teacher Love, Coach Love? If I didn't, I just said it now. Wisdom Wednesday, Wondrous Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday. This is the Sun Price, Saving Our Marriage Empowerment with Prayer, Reflection, Inspiration, Courageous Conversation, and the Encouragement or Enlightenment segment. Episode number 38 for the healthy-minded people who are or desire to have and be in a healthy marriage. I apologize for coming on a little later than usual. Had a service call I had to go attend to. Yeah, this is for faithful, loving, respectful, and progressive marriage. You know, you adding happy to the happy that came to you. It is my prayer and hope that these segments will give you a jump start or something to enlighten you with some enthusiasm on how you can add more value to your marriage. We're not designed to be alone. We're not supposed to be alone. Our Creator didn't even make it that way. Even when we die, we need somebody to carry our bodies. Marriage is a higher level of commitment of two individuals coming together. You praying. You're being interdependent, intertwined, and then you're going further than where you got yourself. Yes, indeed. Your marriage is a ministry. That's what I believe wholeheartedly. A ministry within the home, your neighborhood, the community, and maybe even the world if you are so blessed to impact it. I'm mad is an acronym that dropped in my spirit that says infidelity, misery, miscommunication, abuse, drifting, or divorce doesn't have to be your story. Instead, I say you could be where glad, where you're wonderful, exciting, reviving, enthusiastic, grateful, lovingly loyal, astounding, and dynamically divine. There's a formula for success, just like there's one for quote-unquote failure. It's up to us what happens. We're the ones that build. We're the ones that work. We're the ones that put in the effort. We're the ones that accept whatever happens, what's going on. Without prayer, we'll leave our marriages up to happenstance. We ain't supposed to do that. Not at all. We don't know what we don't know until we find out what we don't know. And I believe that information changes situations. Prayer changes everything, including ourselves. Me? No, I'm not in covenant yet. I just spent many years, many lovely hours with married and engaged couples in our ministry at my church. Listening, gleaning, researching, laughing, sometimes crying. Just information. And I continue to talk to them. Praying, reading, researching. Yeah. I'm on assignment. So as I say, if anybody has a problem with this, take it up with the Lord. And that goes for just about anything. Like I told a husband who was complaining about his wife talks or women talk too much. Take it up with the Lord. Go on and go complain to the Lord. Let me know how that works out for you when you tell God that what He created, what our Creator created, whether it's a he or she or both, since we're made in God's image, male and female. Let me know how that works out when you tell the Lord, I'm shining or am I glowing? No, you messed up when you did this. Let me know how that works. All right. January 6th, 2021. We are on Love Dare Day 6. Again, episode 38. To serve with love. Oh my gosh. Look. You know what? No, I'm not going to say that right now. When we're healthy, doing what our spouse loves, with reason, it comes easy. It's very easy for us to complete that. A healthy husband, a healthy man doesn't request something hurtful, shameful, demonic, or dangerous. I was listening to Tony. I actually fell asleep listening to Tony last night, and I reposted it on my page because I was like, "Lil bro, this is what I've been talking about." And I was just talking about this earlier today. He posted something that was 2 hours in the afternoon, and I did this in the morning. So to hear him talk about what I had been talking about, and he's coming from a man's perspective, a man that's been on both sides, the nasty man as well as the God-fearing man, to listen to him talk about how men have to be accountable, responsible, and look at self first, and how a healthy man would never put his woman, especially his wife, in a predicament that would have her be hurt. Why I say hurted? That would have her be in a hurtful situation is demonic. Yeah, it's demonic. A healthy, mature man seeks to please and serve his wife. He expresses his love by his actions with a positive spirit. Whether it's changing the baby's diaper, getting up to warm up her breast milk to feed the baby early in the morning so she's not up every 2 hours. He actually gives her a break. He enjoys giving her a break. Folding and putting away laundry, cleaning the fish tank, washing her car. Wow. See, sometimes I don't even remember what I write until I go back and read it to present it to you. But I just read that in part of the reading, and I'd already written this. Alrighty. Filling her gas tank, changing the litter box, taking the children out for ice cream, dusting the furniture and the blinds, mopping the floor, cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the mirrors and the windows, ironing her clothes for work, making her lunch, running her bath, helping the kids with their homework, reading stories to the children, prepping ingredients for dinner. Sound like a lot? You know, most times she does that every day and more. Effort, energy, planning, thought, faith, patience, and time. All of these require those kind of sacrifices / gifts, and they're done in love. Practice doesn't make perfect, and I've said it plenty of times. Practice don't make perfect. Practice makes improvement. And when you keep doing it, practice leads you towards permanence. A healthy-minded husband executes to finish what he started. He leaves it all on the floor. All of it. Ain't nothing left. He pours himself out. Y'all see the documentary on Michael Jordan? Y'all know I'm a basketball head, and no, I don't know all stats anymore. I don't know stats like that. I don't even keep up with full teams anymore. And those who've been with me, you've heard me talk about how Jordan didn't win a championship till he got Pippen. How that one can get it done, but that power of two? Jordan needed Pippen. And I ain't talking about when Pippen had that little tantrum like a little boy and sat on the bench. I ain't talking about that. One of the greatest givers I had ever seen, and he used to be with the Bad Boys. Those of you that know the Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer and all of them. One of the greatest givers I've ever seen on the court that put it all out there. Dennis Rodman. Dennis the Worm Rodman. Although flamboyant and unorthodox and quite out there. I remember the first piercing. And then all of a sudden it's just everywhere. It's like, good Lord. Rod, what you doing? Y'all remember when he wore that wedding dress? Man. One thing about Dennis Rodman, though. He studied the art of watching a basketball come off the rim, come off the backboard, the trajectory of where that ball would go. He studied that. He perfected knowing how to place himself to get the rebound. Now, he didn't beat Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain, the most rebounds was 55 in a game. Dennis Rodman, I think, was like 34 in a game. Nevertheless, with Dennis on the Bulls, although he didn't score a lot, I think he averaged like 7 points or something like that, rebounding, kicking that ball back out to Jordan, kicking the ball out to BJ Armstrong, my baby, my boo. That was my boo in high school. Love it. Whomever it was, when Rodman got the ball, he kicked it out. One of the greatest at it. One of the greatest. Discipline, passion, the hours and effort that the worm put in to get the ball, to get the rebound. And you could always, and it just a perfect pivot, turn around, look, see who he could pass it to, and it was always open. I feel like I'm watching a game right now. Okay, I might go watch an old game just because. The dedication and the faith, the love for the game and the ball. Hey, Usman, thanks for speaking. I'm doing well. How are you? Now, the Worm won 2 championships with the Pistons. And then 3 consecutive ones with the Bulls. Consecutive. Yeah. Even though he was chosen, he wasn't even in the top 25 when he was chosen in the draft. And not everybody could handle a Dennis Rodman. Phil Jackson was one of the greatest at it. But even at the same time, it was if he's going to do what he's going to do, all right. So to go from a shy and introverted little boy to being where he is, or where he was when he played the game, just a fierce baller. Imagine if he'd put that kind of effort into his marriages. The first marriage, if not the first marriage, the second one. Carmen Electra was the second one. And if he still didn't get it with the second marriage, imagine if he'd put that kind of dedication, passion, fire, discipline with his third marriage. Imagine. Where would he be? Could he have possibly avoided being an alcoholic and getting into all of the legal troubles that he gotten into? Could he possibly avoid being a spokesman for the one that's in office right now, sitting on Black Lives Matter Plaza, causing hell? If he'd have put that kind of relentless effort into his marriage, especially after he had children, what would have changed? What if he could have renewed his mind after the second marriage? What if he would have transferred that energy that was on the court into his wife? Oftentimes we mess up because we don't manage our minds. During these segments, I keep thinking about when I was 12 years old. That little boy was more of a man than just about every man I allowed into my life after. David had more sense, more security, more effort, more passion, more sincerity, and treated me as valuable and worthy. And in my foolishness and not knowing and seeing the women that were around me that weren't treated the way that David treated me. And if y'all see David, any of my old partners, my old friends, tell them I said, hey, praying that he and his daughters are doing well. After that greatness, I got caught up in a web of lies and hurt from takers. David was a giver. For no reason. And I often wonder if I'd have just had the right model to say, that's a good one. That's the one right there. His father was amazing. Mother, amazing. And they loved me. But I didn't know no better then. And then I went through hell thereafter. The poison I allowed into my life. And what's worse than that is that once I realized it was poison, I got to the point where I was like, well, may as well just keep on going. I done already messed up. I'm broken. Stay in the brokenness until I really get tired and then move on. I done broke my abstinence, fornicating with this, that I know ain't going nowhere and ain't worth nothing. May as well stay in it. Broken. Hurt. In a web. I downloaded that trauma as normal. I normalized it. Woo! And to hear Tony talking about all that last night, I let it play while I went to sleep because I was like, my God. Thankfully, courage rose, and even though I was hurt and my heart was broken, it wasn't destroyed. I wasn't destroyed. I can look back on it now at all of them. I ain't responsible for what they have to own up to when they meet our Creator. I'm responsible for what I allowed. The takers, the unhealthy males that I allowed into my life. It took me a while to close those and look at the good reports. It took me a while, which is why I have no problem talking to others. No problem at all. I had to start looking at the good. You know, what's lovely, what's pure, what's honest, what's just. And I didn't see it in them. I saw it in David, though, and he was 12 years old. Man! Yes, David, you are in the book. If somebody ever sees you and tells you, I do talk about you in the book. I do. Because I messed that up. And I ain't ashamed to admit it. Woo! See, what I learned is I had to stop wasting effort and time pouring into pits, depleting myself. It was during that time where I really started looking at married folk. Yeah. And though I still made mistakes during this time, I still looked. I looked at husbands who were servant leaders, the house bond. That was not only the foundation, it was the walls. God is the covering. Our Creator, the higher power, the covering, and everything in that was being protected by this house bond, the husband. I had to come out of darkness. I had to see some light. Even Jesus said those that will be great will be servants. Serving others. Yeah. For years, oh my gosh, I watched this man get served by a woman, just his girlfriend. Not once did I ever see him fix her plate and bring it to her. Not once did I ever see him fix her something to drink that wasn't alcoholic and just bring it to her. Not once. He just sat there, a taker. I never asked if he'd been married before. I think he had been, and to watch that, it let me realize and see that he wasn't a servant leader. He wasn't a man that improved his wife. He sat like that was her job. Whoa. In these readings and going to the married and engaged couples ministry meetings, what I learned was a man will never find or meet or be introduced to the perfect wife, the perfect woman, because she doesn't exist no more than the perfect man exists. You're perfect to each other. The woman that he has in his mind, she doesn't exist because he don't create a woman. God does. Our higher power is who creates us. What can happen though, when he has vision, godly vision, and he know where he going, he knows his assignment, then he can cultivate the atmosphere. He can help his wife produce. The woman in his life comes with her own gifts and talents to work her destiny. And when she's connected to him and he has his destiny, there's a perfect imperfection going on. Because we're all imperfect. We're all imperfect. We're all imperfect. That man helps shape her into more. Yeah. Not a false sense of who she is. She doesn't lose her true identity. She doesn't become inauthentic. He just helps shapes her into more. Just like she helps shape him into more. By doing so, yeah, when he's shaping her, he's shaping himself. A healthy-minded husband or man recognizes that his strength is to be used for protection, not battery. He knows that he's supposed to be her safest place. She's not supposed to be sorry. Love does conquer all, yet it is not what keeps a marriage together. The husband is designed to maximize his home. He makes room for his wife and her gifts. He doesn't suffocate her. Hello, somebody. He doesn't suffocate her. He doesn't block her light. He doesn't close her in. He doesn't put limits on her. Adam, back in the day, took care of everything and refined it. He presents his wife to himself, and he's proud of the work of God. Whoa, man. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. This is a good thing. And God made it good. And his wife adores him. Her eyes and her body language say, improve me. What we gonna do? Bring out the best in me. The unstable, unhealthy one complains about what's wrong with his wife and takes no accountability or responsibility for what he may have built, cut, chiseled, and created. He probably cut away at the woman she was and then didn't like what he created and then complains about it. That's what you built. My question to the broken, the divorced man, usually asks, what was wrong with her when you first married her? What was wrong with her? And it usually takes quite some time for that divorced man to say anything. And then I get a nothing. Well, she was perfect. She was this, she was that, she did this, she did that. And after listening to what she did, I'm like, well, how did you keep that garden alive? How did you keep her leaves green? How did you keep her soil fertilized? Did you till the ground? Did you remove any weeds that tried to pop up anywhere? Even in her so-called flaws? How did she flourish? Did you improve her? Or did you get comfortable? Did you stop watering her? Did you stop planting? When did she begin to die inside? When did you notice it? When did the garden become a land where the majority of the activity was just the pole poking the soil? When did that happen? I've asked it before. What happened during courtship? What did you do before you got married? Were you healthy-minded then? Did you continue to do it after the covenant? Or did you fall back? Or did you flip the switch? Was it a representative? And then your real self showed through. The way you made time for her in the beginning during the courtship. Did you slack off? Because I'm sure you were working while y'all were courting. So we can't say it's the job. But you worked too much. You were working then, but you made time, right? You served her. You served her time. You served her gifts. You served her the love, the way that you saw she needed it. You were of service, right? You kept your own environment clean. So by the time you invited her over, she was like, oh, you know how to keep a home. It's peaceful in here. You showed her all of that, right? You respected her. You protected her. You were on your best. You were your best. If it came down to the point where you cooked, she may not even asked you. You probably told her, let me cook for you. I'm going to cook for you. You wanted to show her your skills. You may have taken your coat off, wrapped it around her, even though she probably had one on, but she was just a little colder. And you took it off, gave it to her, put it around her, draped her. You probably walked with your arm around her waist, probably walked with your arm around her shoulder if it wasn't too heavy. You might even just stroked her hair sometimes. You may have, did one of these on her face. I love the way your hair goes. However her hair was. Am I lying? Did you maintain that? Did you improve upon it? The healthy husband intentionally does preventative care. That starts with himself and transfers to his wife. Prior to marriage, he didn't. And once married, he's not looking for his wife to be his mother. He's not attempting to make a peach be a nectarine or a river be a waterfall. Let me tell you, I heard this man and I really admired him. I still, I'm cool, but I haven't listened to him in a while. Because I heard him say that his mama ironed the bed sheets when he was a little boy. And I thought, okay, where is this going? Hey, Shawnee, thanks for speaking and tuning in. Okay. And he was like, he don't sleep on wrinkled sheets. And I'm listening, I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Pause. I actually heard a man say that, a lot of you women are single because y'all don't even iron sheets no more. You want to be married, but you don't iron sheets. And I'm like, I don't remember my great grandma ironing no sheets now. Only time I know about that is when my grandmother worked for them folks. And they required her to do that. And I wish to God I was there. Because I didn't want her ironing their sheets. I'm like, I have to ask my grandma. Grandma, did you ever see great grandma ironing the sheets when you were a little girl to put them on the bed? Because, back then wasn't really no dryers. I got to ask her. But then I thought, all right, you're a grown man now. You're an adult. So you're divorced. Who's ironing your sheets right now? That's what I'm thinking as I'm looking. I'm like, is he paying the dry cleaners to do it? Or is he doing it himself? I'm like, ironing sheets. Okay. Maybe that's his requirement. But then to say that women are single because they ain't ironing, I was just like, ooh. And to hear women under his tutelage, yeah, that's right. I'm like, y'all don't be ironing those sheets. Stop your lying. If you take them out the dryer and that's what you want on the bed, they nice. But Lord, I was like, okay, that ain't my gift. Yeah. I was like, why is he telling women to be like his mother? Okay. A butterfly doesn't attempt to be a red robin. It stays itself and flies how it was designed. Even a parakeet doesn't try to be a peacock. Both are beautiful. What he said was not cultivating to me. I didn't feel that. It seemed more demanding. And love doesn't demand. It doesn't demand. Love, when it's demanded, anything that's demanded stops love from flowing. You know, maybe she doesn't clean like he likes. He models it. It can be adjusted to her lifestyle, or he can help. If she kept her place nice and he was accepting of it during the courtship, then how does it flip because y'all live together now? It was all right when you saw it, and I was all right the way you kept yours, but now that we're together, that's where things go wrong. And it's not because of the covenant. It's not because of the license. All of a sudden, switches get flipped. Though something worked for his parents in their marriage, he watched his mother iron sheets. She may have been taught that from her mother or her grandmother. You know, or they may have worked in homes that required it and felt like if I'm going to do it for them, I'm going to do it for my own. You know, the help. For him, this guy that I was listening to, this may have been his expression of love. What he left out that I kept waiting for was what he contributed back. And what she asked for, that he was like, I've never heard of that, but okay. And I never heard it. I never heard him say anything. I didn't hear him say that he brought the clothes from the dryer and gave them to her, set them up, or that he put the clothes in the dryer and waited. I never heard him say he folded clothes while she was ironing sheets. I sat there anticipating kingship to come forth, and I didn't hear it. So it kind of, yeah. What came over me was like resentment, guilt, shame. You know, if you were a good and suitable wife, then you would. And I was like, that don't feel together. That don't feel right. Don't go together. It reminded me of a doormat, which is something that you used. It's inanimate. It ain't got no say about what you do to it. And I was like, God didn't make either one of us to be that way. We're both gifts. A healthy-minded husband doesn't present one version, then revert to who he really is after marriage. He doesn't flip the switch. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. His perceptions, his desires, his needs, his personality, they're consistent, not confusing, because God is not the author of confusion. Ever. Constructive feedback. A lot of people call it criticism. I call it feedback. With a healthy husband, he doesn't view it or hear it as nagging. More often than not, he realizes that this feedback, when he's listening, are the areas that his wife feels is deficient. She's telling him what isn't okay if he's listening. And a wise husband asks for clarity. Why? There's no common stereotypes of roles. You know, y'all do what works for you. I know men who, because of the way they were raised, they clean like nobody's business. It's like, okay, and they have a cleaning business. Like, oh, all right, so you handled that while she's handling this. Hey, that works. Wonderful. Wise husbands don't talk themselves out of their blessings. We always have to examine. Always got to lead with love. Ever. Always. We have to examine what we don't understand or comprehend. Wise husbands ask their wives how they can help them with something. Just like on the flip side, but we still on husbands right now. Y'all already know what I'm saying for husbands. More often than not, it also goes to wives. So husbands don't, yeah, y'all already know. Whether it's around the house or with the children, he finds out how he can help ease, lift the burden, get the heaviness off, because our shoulders aren't built that way. You are bigger and stronger for a reason. Not to use that against your wife, but to use that to help protect your wife and carry a load. I really need to go see what he's doing. Is it easy? No. Is it simplified love? Yes. The wise husband tears away stereotypes and limitations. The wise husband prays to be the husband that never puts his wife's hope into a hopelessness state. He prays to use some of his time to do something for her, the same way he was making that time in the beginning. He doesn't slack. He prays to be the husband that she doesn't have to ask something twice. Whew. I used to loathe that with one of my exes. How many years ago was that? 7 years? 2013, I would ask him to do something. He was great with moving items and things of that nature. But there was something I asked him to do because I just didn't want to do it. And I just wanted to be like, I got a man. Let him do it. He couldn't do anything with the car. I knew my car better. So I didn't ask him to do nothing with the car. But I was just like, can you do that right there for me? Because I felt like, I got a man. I need, I need him to be, I just wanted him to do it. After the third time of asking, the next time he came over, it was done. Because I did it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it in the first place. I just wanted him to do it for me. And by the third time, I was just like, all right, I guess I'll do it myself. Because, a wise husband, he just makes time. And he knows his wife ain't going to ask him for something that he's incapable of doing. She's not taking away his time from something else. In all of that, husbands, you wise ones, pray to surprise her with something. Even if it's doing something for a person that she loves. Surprise her. Pray to keep the inner voice nurturing, positive, and promoting. Pray to hear feedback. Not look at it as complaints or nagging. It's feedback. She's telling you something that's deficient or missing if you listen. And wise husbands, the healthy ones, they listen. Pray to do something for her without announcing it, and then see how long it takes for her to notice it. I can pretty much tell you, she gonna see it real quick, because women are perceptive. You may not see that her hair's changed. A wise husband would, though. He will see, oh, she done flipped it a different way today. She gonna notice that you did something that you didn't even tell her that you did. She's going to see it. Pray to stay a husband who acknowledges when he's not able to do something. Because we know y'all are not Superman. You just our Superman. We don't expect you to do any and everything there is to be done. We ain't telling you to go fix the plumbing. Hey, especially if we got an income coming together and we put it together, we could pay a plumber to come in here and do that, handle that. Because that's time you could be spending with her. Now, if it's something you can do, okay. The fence falls down. If it's something that you can do, all right. If not, hey, let's hire somebody. You just gonna say my Superman. You come in here. We can watch him. So if it happens again, the both of us can go handle it together. Yeah. Is it easy? No. But is it simplified and possible to do? Yes. It is. Day 6. I promise you I don't read these. It says love is your job description. This is the message you've heard from the beginning. We should love one another. 1 John 3:11. People from every nation, tribe, and tongue have it in common. Everyone is longing to be loved. It's inbred. It's God-given. It's lifelong. It's deeply felt. Love is the greatest. Y'all gonna hear me say that often, and I'm partial to it. You know, yeah. Would someone please love me? Oh, wait. Is the unspoken cry. Wow. From billboards, television shows, magazines, t-shirts, a lot of these social media posts that we see from various people doing whatever they can to be noticed. Doing whatever they can to go viral. Wearing whatever it is that will get them attention. Screaming with someone, please love me. My God. We work constantly to get others to notice our worth and validate us with their attention. Woo! We will even give ourselves to someone with hopes of receiving love in return. I've done that. I've been there, looking for love in all the wrong places. My goodness. And hooking up with people that didn't even love themselves. I've been there. And then I looked at myself and how I didn't love myself enough. Because it all starts in the home. This is home. Ooh, but ironically, let me keep reading. People rarely take their focus off themselves so they can meet this need in others. Selfishly, we may even overlook our own spouse, but he or she needs it just the same. Talking about service. I didn't know that's what this was going to be talking about. Love, however, is your primary responsibility in marriage. Did you not vow to a lifelong love at the altar? Are you not the one God is privileged to fill your mate's love tank? Hey, I've been saying love tank. It says it in here. And remember this, when your spouse deserves your love the least, that is when you need to give it the most. No one on earth is more strategically positioned, commanded, and called on to love your mate than you are. As I've stated before, husbands, you are her safe space, her safe place. In that, she may reveal and open up like no other man has ever seen. With that, you are the one designed to help her through whatever she brings to you. You're the one designed for that. It's almost like peeling an onion, layers after layers. You may cry with her. You may. With knowing and her revealing everything that she's been through. Just be there. Serve her. The prayer says, Lord, I thank you for the spouse you have given me. Teach me to love them in a way that meets their needs and honors you. It says in Jesus' name, amen. I say, Yahweh, our creator, our source, our higher power, whoever you need to put in position there. Wow. Love is your job description. At your job you serve. Your wife is your first ministry. Outside of self. My goodness. Alrighty. When it's all said and done, as I say, you are your spouse's 10 out of 10. Nobody's perfect. We're just each other's perfect. It's about the team, the partnership. Each of us must put in the work and the effort. And with that, Kelly, ride on and let love lead. Healthy husbands, healthy-minded husbands, healthy men don't want to ride or die. They want to ride and live. They want their wives to ride and live, not ride and die. Or die. We want to rise, sail together. W, Mr. Les Brown, his acronym for work. W is the willingness to do what it takes, and I added without causing harm. O is optimism, to believe everything works out for our good. R is being able to reinvent self to go from what was the best, where we got ourselves with the help of our higher power, to where when we come together, what we gonna do together to go even higher, to be even greater. K is to have a kindred spirit for socializing, asking for help, accepting help, and embracing the right relationships. When we love ourselves, it's easy to give love because it overflows from us. It's even better when we get love back. Even better. Even better. It's a circle. You know, that's why y'all wear rings. It's a circle. Infinite circle. If we do everything in love, we won't have to question a whole lot. Not a lot at all. It's almost like, even though we really don't want anybody to be jealous, you really don't want anybody to be jealous. And not, with envy. But, it's that healthy husband. It's like, yeah, I want my wife to glow. I want other women to look at her and see that she's treated well. That she's well loved. She ain't spoiled. She's well loved. She deserves it. And oh my, when you have couples and y'all walking, you shining with your shine, they shining with they shine, and y'all just walking and you just exude. Your whole aura says love, God's blessings. I ain't trying to outdo them. We doing us, but we complement who we're connected to, those right relationships. Ain't nobody mad about nothing except the devil. That's the only one. And that's the only one that doesn't want to see marriages thrive. That's it. Evil. That's it. That's the only one. And I ain't evil. I love seeing healthy, faithful, progressive, prosperous marriages. Makes me smile. And I can smile every time I say we're glad. Dynamically divine, because I have a plethora of marriages that come across my mind. I do. Yes, I do. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for all of it. This has been the Save Our Marriage Empowerment with prayer, reflection, inspiration, courageous conversation, and encouragement with love. Naturally. Your time is appreciated. I'm going to go. Yes, I am a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of close. We'll see. Maybe 7 a.m. 7 and 7:15 a.m. is a little early for the West Coast. Maybe I do need to come on a little bit later. I don't know. We'll see. But I do appreciate your time. I'm praying that you got something out of it. I really do. Because your marriage is needed. Especially when it's healthy. We need to see it. We need more signs and symbols of healthy love. Progressive men. Men that love. We need it. The fatherhood, the house bond, the foundation, the covering, the protection. We need it. Especially us. We need it. So, indeed, I appreciate your time. Thank you for tuning in. And by all means, constructive feedback is always welcome. So if you hear something that I say, sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying, and you're like, well, no, by all means, go ahead and post it. I'll read it. It's my desire that you catch something in this that will add to your marriage. And I ain't saying I don't know everything. I'm a lifelong learner, and I ain't ashamed to admit it. I'm learning something new every single day. I enjoy it. I enjoy that. So, by all means, feel free to share. Wives, yeah, you too. If you see this, go ahead. Mm-hmm. 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 Come on. We know you ain't Superman, as I said. You just her Superman. Yeah. You're her superhero. Your household's superhero. And she gets better with time. Being connected to you. And you gardening. And cultivating. And keeping her watered. She gonna get better with time. Why you think we don't look as old as we are? When we're well taken care of. Woo! They say like fine wine. All right, I'm gonna go. It's almost time to work out. Do everything in love. Everything. Make it a lovely day, not just for you. Find someone else. Help them have a lovely day too. Husbands, that means your wife first. Well, you, your wife, or your wife, then you. However, help her have a lovely day. The rest of us, we start with self and then we help somebody else. Be love.